All right, guys, I'm back as promised. Let's get into Teris. How does it work? What is it? How does this help the gears? All these questions and more will be answered. Okay, I'm done. I'm not an entertainer, guys. I'm a numbers guy. I run the fucking numbers. I like making games. I like playing games. Um, so Teris is an Ethereum doubler. Which the doubler name is a bit of a misnomer because the profit is only 25% instead of 100, but I'll get into that in a second. Um, what we did is we were going round and round on how to free the Ethereum from the Gears games. And the Gears games were a series of doublers that operated exactly like Teris does. But they were tied to a smart contract called Revolution 1. And when you bought into those Gears games, a small percent of what you sent in to the doubler was used to buy tokens in this game, in this contract, the Revolution 1. And the idea was that these whale accounts that were created by the tokens that were bought using your Ethereum would generate dividends as people played the Revolution 1 contract. And these dividends would be used to pay out the gears if people stopped playing the gears and just kept playing the regular Revolution game. Unfortunately, people stopped playing the gears, and they stopped playing Revolution 1. No one was buying, no one was selling, there was nothing going on. It was just a dead contract. It was slowly bleeding out, so no one was playing it anymore. Thus, no dividends for the gears games, which meant the people that have Ethereum stuck in there, well, they're stuck because there's no Ethereum in the way these contracts work for these doublers is Ethereum is not stored in these contracts. As soon as there is enough, I know, it's not, dude. It would be great because then you could just be like, pay out. I know, I get it. I agree. I'm on your side, buddy. However, the reason that they're not stored is because as soon as there's enough Ethereum in the contract to pay the first person in line, the contract will pay the first person in line. Okay, the problem with having Ethereum stored in a contract is it leaves it open to the dark, insidious ne'er-do-wells. Hang on. Come on. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Little man was out of animal crackers, and he had a lot to say about that. So, got him some more animal crackers. And everything is good. Life is good. Anyway, so if you keep Ethereum in these contracts, the problem that arises is that it opens the possibility of someone getting in there and taking it for themselves. Which is supposedly what happened with Pooh. I was not in that one, so I have no idea what happened. But that's what I have heard happened. So the way to get around that is to just pay everybody as soon as it's there. It makes sense. It's your Ethereum. It's not mine. I would pay you as soon as possible. Because that way, if you choose to get back in, you can. And if you choose to take it and go buy ARB or Zebbies or credits or some other altcoin, well, that's your business. It's your money, brother. I don't care. Anyway, there's no Ethereum left in the gears. There's no Ethereum being generated by dividends from the Gears whale accounts in Revolution 1. So everyone that's stuck in the Gears is stuck. And we went back and forth on how to raise Ethereum to send to the Gears contracts to pay everybody out. And at first we were thinking maybe do a lottery. Where the winner gets half the pot and half the pot goes to the Gears contracts. Well, the problem with that is, again, we're taking people's money, and one person is winning a whole lot of money, and everyone else loses except for whoever got paid out of the Gears. So then we were thinking of some other games and this, that, and the other, and all kinds of different stuff that we could do. When we kind of settled on, why don't we make a new doubler, one that is not tied to a contract, but instead we're going to go buy coins such as arbitraging. And recently we've been looking at Nova Chain as well. But the main the main focus, the main concept was arbitraging. Let's invest this Ethereum in arbitraging. Just put it in the A-bot and return the profits and use the profits to pay the payout line. And once the payout line is paid for Teris, then we'll spend a couple weeks paying Gears. And then we'll reopen Teris. And in this way, we could pay you for helping us to collect the ETH to invest with and return the profits and use those to pay out the Gears. That way we're not collecting money, passing the hat to free up the Gears kind of a thing. So we spent a lot of time going back and forth. How would it work? What are the best numbers? Yada, 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 all this, that, and the other, right? What's a good profit return, right? We wanted to keep the 25% because that's manageable and it helps keep the line moving. If we had done 50%, well then only, you would have had to have 3 people get in behind you to pay yourself out, right? Every third person would pay out one guy. Whereas here with a 25%, you can do that with every second person by, excuse me guys, by having a certain percentage go to the payout line. Okay? Now those that are good with math, and I'm not going to break out the exact percentages because we haven't officially launched yet. As soon as we've launched, we'll be more than happy to tell everyone exactly what percentages we are using. But if you're good at math, you could probably figure out the percentage required to pay 125% profit every other transaction. Anyway, I digress. So the majority of the Ethereum that goes into Teris goes to pay out the Teris line. It's that easy. It's that simple. Now, we are also going to take a small 5% development fee because this is going to take a lot of time and a lot of action on our parts, making sure that we buy ARB at a good price, make sure that we're putting it in the A-bot at a good price, collecting the profits, reselling the ARB that we generate for a good price, injecting the Ethereum into the Teris contracts, injecting the Ethereum into the Gears contracts. It's a lot of work, guys, and it will be a long process. Don't expect all of your Ethereum from the Gears games a week after this launches. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen that way. But we decided that we did not want it to just run and rack up a few thousand transactions, and then we've got a payout line that's 1,500 people long that we need to pay out, whatever that would be, 1,500 times 0.625. You're looking at somewhere in the ballpark of like 900 Ethereum we'd have to raise in profits, get returned from arbitraging, to get everyone whole from Teris. Because the last thing in the world we want to do is create a 4th Gears where people are stuck, and their Ethereum is not being freed from Teris now. So we wanted to limit the number of transactions per round. Okay, and that number is going to be 640 because that happens to be, with our percentages, produce good even numbers for us on the back end as far as how much is collected to be sent to arbitraging, how much is left to pay the line, and how much goes to developers, right? Because let's be honest, this ain't cheap. It ain't cheap to make this stuff, so we do have to recoup our costs, and afterward, a lot of the budget from that development fee is going to go towards advertising for our future projects. But it gives us nice even numbers. It works out really well mathematically at 640. So we decided to limit that at 640. Okay, so what this is going to allow us to do is it'll give us, first and foremost, it'll give us quite a lot of Ethereum to buy arbitraging tokens with, which is pretty nice. So we'll have a really, really good sized trading account right from the end of the first round, right from the get-go, will already have a really good sized trading account generating a pretty decent return every single day. You know, the problem with evolution was that we started with a small trading account and we were going to work our way up to a trading account in the 3 or 4 digits, but people stopped playing. It didn't get nearly as big as we thought it was going to. You know, so the trading account by default also did not get nearly as big as we thought it was going to. You know, so we decided to go ahead and start off the bat with a pretty good sized trading account. Now, what's going to happen after the first round ends, the contract gets locked up, and let's be honest, guys, there will be a few people still stuck in Teris, right? It's going to happen. I'm sorry. There's no way around that. You know, so some people will have their Aetherium locked up for a little while. But the first priority is to pay out people who are locked into Teris. That is priority number 1. After that, we're going to spend 2 weeks paying out gears. We're going to start with the smallest contract first to make progress on that one. And then we will reopen Teris for round 2. We're just going to unlock the contract so you can play again. You know, you have the opportunity to make more profit, to continue playing, you know, until we hit another 640 transactions. And then the contract's going to lock again. It happens. However, now, on the second round, the trading account will be twice the size as the original trading account. In theory, that is twice as much money in the A-bot, resulting in a clear time of half as long, right? So let's say the first round takes 4 months for us to pay everyone out that is stuck in the payout line. That would mean that round 2 would only take 2 months to pay everyone out that's in the payout line. Pay everyone out from round 2, spend another 2 weeks paying out the gears, and by round 2 we should be able to clear Gears of War, you know, and put a pretty good chunk into Gears of Death. Well, then we're going to open it for round 3. Once again, 640 transactions in, contract locks. Now our trading account is 3 times the size. In theory, it's generating 3 times as much Aetherium per day. Keep in mind the price of the ARB coin when we purchase our ARBs and when we put them in the A-bot will throw a little bit of a wrench into that plan. So it's not going to work out mathematically pure like that, but it will be pretty darn close. You know, so if the first round took 4 months, the third round would take, what's 4 months divided by 3? Like 5 weeks? Something along those lines. 5 weeks and a couple days to pay everyone out. And then we're going to spend another couple weeks finishing clearing out Gears of Death and starting on Gears of Famine. Now, Gears of Famine is the biggest one. It has the most Aetherium owed to it. That is the big one, and why we're doing the smaller ones first. Get all the little guys out, get all the little guys paid. Get all the medium guys out, get all the medium guys paid. Now let's head towards the big guys. Spend 2 weeks paying those lines, open it up for round 4, and the cycle is going to continue. Now, the ultimate goal is to make Teris self-sustainable. What do I mean by self-sustainable? In my eyes, in my opinion, I'm going to say that Teris will be self-sustainable when, after a contract locks, it takes 1 week or less to pay everyone out. What this means is that you have the opportunity to play 4 times per month. 4 times a month you can play. Lock you up, week 1. Unlock you at the beginning of week 2, you get back in. Unlock you at the beginning of week 3. And unlock you again at the beginning of week 4. So that is what I'm going to call self-sustaining. At that point, we will no longer be doing the... at that point, we definitely should not be paying Gears of War anymore. And our focus is going to change a little bit. Now, as you know, we are launching a gaming platform. You can view the beginnings of the website at wardogsgaming.net. One of the games on that platform will be another doubler. I really love doublers. This new doubler and Teris will interact with each other. Okay, so in the beginning, a small portion of the profits are going to be sent to Teris. Yeah. To help push those first few rounds through, you know, and help grow that trading account as big as possible, as much as possible, as we can, in preparation to try and get this thing self-sustaining earlier and earlier and earlier. Once Teris is self-sustaining, we will be sending the profits from the trading account back into the new doubler to help grease that one along too. So the new doubler is going to help Teris at first, and then Teris is going to get us back later. I think it's going to work out very, very well. I'll be playing both. I'm sure a lot of people will, because, you know, if one gets stuck for a little bit, the other one will come help it along. But it's up to you, to each their own. So I think that just about answers all the questions on what Teris is, how it will help the gears, how to play it, how to help us test it, how to switch to the Ropsten test network, all this, that, and the other. Just about any question that I've been asked today. You know, and I've been responding to people, answering their question. I just figured I'd make these videos real quick. To kind of, you know, that way if you have these questions, these videos will answer them. You know, if you had a little questions on exactly how it works, this video can answer it. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up so I have a little bit of downtime before the campfire. So I hope that I will see you all in about 20 minutes or so over on Crypto Country Boys channel with Down by the Campfire. Talk to you there.